Hello and welcome to Airplay. I'm Connie Kepfinger. Our play today, A White Christmas, was written by Vivian C. Lermond. Vivian has penned 19 one-act plays, all recipients of multiple productions from New York to Hawaii. Her full-length, Back to Bethlehem, PA, premiered off-Broadway in 2006 at the Manhattan Theater Club. Myrtle Beach Sunrise, one of her recent works from her Shorelines anthology, was produced in April here on Airplay and is slated for a production next June in Resurrection Theater Save Our Shorts Festival in Sacramento, California. Her latest anthology, Life After Christmas, a collection of 7 short plays that explore the holiday experience and its aftermath through a wide-angle camera lens that captures both the unforgiving and the unforgivable moments of the season. One of these works, A White Christmas, is featured today on Airplay. So without further ado, we bring you A White Christmas. Dreaming of a white Christmas conjures up images of greeting cards, snowscapes, and peace on earth, unless you face off with a full frontal reality that a white Christmas has nothing to do with serenity and everything to do with mayhem. Meet Cassie, a happy-go-lucky, yet frustrated wife struggles mercilessly with her Christmas lights. Played today by Susan Fox, one of our on-air players. Sit back, relax, and enjoy A White Christmas.
This is my father-in-law's handiwork. He thought he'd be helpful and take down the Christmas tree lights. When they say you marry a family, they're not lying. For better or for worse, that marriage disclaimer vow rolls off spousal tongues without giving the pledge of troth a thought. Love is blind when you're in your 20s, isn't it? It's all about love, sex, passion, and believing in those childhood fables of living happily ever after. You don't think about the long haul through the realm of reality, like living through the Christmas holidays with a tribe of relatives you inherited, an offshoot of those wedding vows, and a real challenge to any couple's connubial bliss. I love my husband. Jake is a great guy, sensible, sensitive, salt of the earth. But his family, those people are a reality show waiting to happen. I'm not saying my family's normal and doesn't have its own cast of quirky characters, but we operate on the lower level of dysfunction. The white family can claim the penthouse. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, not only in my nightmares. When it comes to holidays, my husband and I have gotten pretty good over the years at the art of compromise. One year we do Christmas with his clan. The next year, a white Christmas, the holiday from hell that can drive you to drink or find victory in Valium. It's just one day, Cassie. We can do anything for just one day, my husband says, by way of encouragement. Well, it was a white Christmas this year at our house, a wine and dine experience that rivaled Dante's journey through the third circle of hell, gluttony. You do the math. 8 people, a 20-pound turkey with all the trimmings, a 15-pound honey-baked ham, 10 pounds of mashed potatoes, sweet potato casserole, 3 vegetables, and 6 pies. It was Jake's idea this year to tell his family they needed to share some of the feasting responsibilities. He asked them to bring the rolls, appetizers, and wine. It was a great idea, in theory. In reality, It was a disaster. Rolls. His Aunt Lucy teamed up with Granny White and brought 4 packages of hamburger buns. And I don't consider pork rinds, peanuts, and assorted chips and dip high-end hors d'oeuvres suitable for a Christmas family get-together. Wine. Oh, yes. Uncle Bart and Jake's dad both showed up with a gallon of box wine. My sister-in-law, Jenny, who doesn't like drinking that fancy stuff, amped up the booze booty with a case of Budweiser. When we all sat down to the table, the place settings looked beautiful. What was I thinking? Forget the silverware. I should have just put out garden trowels so they could shovel in their food faster. The Whites aren't much for conversation when they're tackling a food spread. Slurping sounds and one-syllable acknowledgments like, damn, or good, cut through the clatter of cutlery, punctuated by occasional Budweiser beer burp from Jenny. Nobody talked until the last of the casserole dishes were scraped clean. The White family takes the waste not, want not philosophy to a whole new level. Finally, everyone pushes off from the table, heads for the great room to polish off the remnant of the box wine and dig into the deep dish pies. I'll put the coffee on, Jake offers, as I start to clear the table. Leave that! Uncle Bart bellows as he wraps his bear-sized arms around me, propels me to the new gathering place. Of course, the men find their own conversation nook, leaving the women to create the White Women Whining Cluster, a collective of complainers maximizing their opportunity to vent to a captive audience. Granny White leads off with a dollop of her usual Debbie Downer discourse. Gramps is dead, she announces. Gran, Pappy died 1999, Aunt Lucy reminds her. Jenny jumps in, announces she has a new ex-boyfriend, which leads to Jake's mom's take on relationships, but failure to launch for my mother-in-law. Aunt Lucy butts in before Annie White has a chance to take her diatribe any further. We are privy now to the news that Lucy has a disintegrating disc, has finally scheduled her bunion surgery, and that Uncle Bart has a hernia. Annie White, though, is not a woman to be outdone as a bearer of bad news. I have cataracts. I'm going blind, she blurts out, to which Jenny responds, Mom, cataract surgery is nothing. You can drive the next day. Annie shoots Jenny a dirty look. How dare her daughter diminish her moment in the health shock spotlight? Well, there's a lull in the conversation, and they all look at me. Granny breaks the silence. Is Jake all right? He looks so thin, she says. Oh, he's great. He's running 3 miles a day. And I got a promotion, I say. Lucy lifts her penciled-in eyebrows and gives me one of those looks. Really? How did you get a promotion? She wants to know. I tell her I landed a new major account, and my boss rewarded me. Lucy gets her snarly face on. Indifference. Did he? She says, giving me a wink, wink. He is a she, I answer. Ha! Lucy licked up that bit of news and didn't like the flavor. Excuse me, I say. I need to check the coffee. I march out of the room. Jake follows me into the kitchen. When is your weird family going to leave? I hiss. Well, they've polished off the beer and wine, says Jake, sounding optimistic. Then it happened. Seems like a field mouse decided to come to the Christmas party uninvited. A blood-curdling scream comes from the great room, followed by Aunt Lucy ripping through the kitchen like her pants were on fire. Mice! There's mice in the room! She shrieks. Lucy's terrified of mice. The other white women are quick to follow, calling after the men as they make a beeline for the coat closet. It was the quickest clear out of a white Christmas ever. Jake and I watched the cars roar out of the driveway and down the road. Then we looked at each other and started laughing. Crazy, crazy laughing until your sides hurt. You know, honey, Jake says, my family might have a few screws loose, but a white Christmas has its moments to remember. I had to agree. It's not every day a Christmas mouse can clear the house. The day was a disaster, but the night got better. Jake uncorked a lovely bottle of Mouton Cadet he had stashed away, and we cozied up to the fire and had our own white Christmas, and it was memorable. For better or for worse, you do marry a family. But I was lucky. I got the one and only right white. And for that, it has all been worth the crazy ride.